friends, today we are going to see vermicomposting, which is actually helping the compost to form, right? In the normal composting method, we just bury the vegetable waste and the plant and animal waste, and we cover them and we let them convert to manure by themselves. What if you want to be help to the plants, you want to be friends to the plants, you can fasten this process by vermicomposting. In vermicomposting, red worms are used. Okay, so this is actually a composting which is done by the help of the red worms. So let's see how can red worms be used to do vermicomposting. For this, there is an activity which can be performed. There is a pit which has to be dug. You dig a pit and at the bottom you have to spread some sand. Over this layer of sand you can spread cow dung if you want, it is optional. Otherwise, over this layer of sand, now you are going to put the waste, the vegetable or the plant waste. Right? Now you have kept your waste, you have to cover this with husk or newspaper or cardboard. It should be airy, so we are using husk, newspaper, or you can use shredded cardboard. Do not use plastics or aluminium foils because they will not let the air go in. They will interfere with the air diffusion or the transport of air in and out. So, did you understand? You have to dig a pit, then sand, then you have to put your vegetable waste. After this, newspaper or husk has to be put, and then you have to sprinkle some water. Do not make it very wet. Lot of water is not going to help the red worms. Okay, we just need some moisture. So you have to sprinkle water. After sprinkling water into this, put the red worms. You have to buy some red worms from the market, some red worms, and then you have to put them inside. You also have to keep some food for these red worms. It can be a vegetable, you know, or coffee waste. So these kind of things actually help the red worm. So your red worm needs food, which is the vegetable and fruit waste. Coffee can be added, or weeds from the fields or grains can be also added here. Now after this, you have to cover this pit with a grass. You will cover this pit with a grass. Okay. So now your pit is ready for the vermicomposting. You have worms inside, you have vegetable waste inside, you have covered it with grass so that air can go in. You should not be pressing the waste material, because when you press the layer of the grass or the waste material, air stops going in. There are less space. You do not have to stuff it. Okay, you have to keep it loose. Now red worms will start eating their food. They do not have teeth. They have structures called gizzards. Red worms have teeth-like structures which are called gizzards. So red worms use these gizzards to grind the food inside. You can also add eggshells, broken eggshells into it, so that helps more in the grinding. Okay, so gizzards help them to grind the food, and in their process they keep on converting this waste material into compost. In a week or so, you have to just move the top layer a bit so that air goes in and it is just circulated well. Okay, so in 3 to 4 weeks, if you open this pit, what you are going to see is, you will see the material, all the material is looking like loose soil, right? Because it has completely converted to a very useful manure. And now this manure, which is made by the process of vermicomposting, can be used for farming. Now there should be a question coming on into your mind, right? Because you know, red worms we had added few. In 1 week time they would have doubled in 1 or 2. We have kept it for 3 to 4 weeks. So there are so many red worms inside this pit now. So what you have to do now, because all the waste material is converted now into the manure, there is no food left for the red worms. So in the dig, at one corner you keep food for the red worms. At one corner keep the food for the red worms. All the red worms in few hours will reach here. And slowly you can vacate this pit and take out the manure. And now you will have only red worms here, which can be again used for vermicomposting at several places. So this is vermicomposting, students. Red worms are introduced into the pit and they eat the food and they do the composting here. So as you are adding the worms, the process becomes fast and later you can just take out the worms in this way. So this is vermicomposting. I hope you have understood this. We'll move to next topic in the next lecture. Thank you.